Hello guys, good evening. Welcome again to the Real Talk channel. Yeah, um, the Psquare twins have given us something to talk about today. Um, First of all, I have to say that um, the what has been going on with those twins, those very talented twins, is quite unfortunate. But I think it's as a result of a crisis that was very poorly handled. I think you can learn one or two things in that uh, from their experience because they have a very beautiful family. But it seems that this their crisis has gotten to a level that uh, I had I know to some extent that highly placed individuals in society have tried to intervene between those twins, but it seems that it has gotten to a point of no return. So it's quite unfortunate. It was a poorly handled crisis that could have been, stopped. And but from the look of things, I don't think those guys will unfortunately, be what they used to be. You know, but I think we can learn something from them. First of all, um, they have they are busy. Each of them now. I knew Peter first of all made a very big mistake. You know, I think I don't know. This is my opinion, though. I may be wrong, but I think that he's responsible for this whole thing coming in public, and being uh, more like putting out there for people to, for it to be a talking point. Uh, yes, what has gone on between them is a family, is a family issue. But what has gone on between them? See, let me tell you. First of all, no family is perfect. Though. There are families that are going quite, and well-known families too, prominent families that are going quite through even more, you know, more complicated crises and all that. But of course, let me tell you, once you bring something in the platform of public opinion, it 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 has a way of making it worse. You know, it has a way of getting things to a point that if there was the slightest chance of remediation, that chance is, is gone. It gets to a point now that people, you have opinions, you have constructive opinions, you have sympathetic opinions, you have destructive opinions, and downright stupid opinions. You know, you get what you ask for, basically. People will, you've brought it to the public to comment on, so you get all just sit back and get ready to get all shades of opinions that at the end of the day will not serve you better, will not make you, will not make the family better, or will not even make the crisis better, will only get it worse. you know First of all, I said that Peter made a mistake for one thing. Yes, in his video, I think I've watched the part 1, 2, and 3. In his video, he made quite some serious allegations against his brothers, you know, the persons of Paul and Jude. Very, very serious allegations. And he presented quite some compelling, evidence to back up his claims, you know. But first of all, when you are watching such a thing, you know, of course, there are two sides to every story, and notwithstanding the compelling nature of his evidence, we don't have context yet until we've heard from the other parties. You know, his story sounds quite believable, but of course, you have to you have to weigh opinions on both sides before you can begin to, you know, estimate who might be telling the truth and who is not. But then, while we are going back to that lesson, we should learn about bringing family crisis in public, in a sphere of public opinion, in a court of public opinion. Yes, because that seems like what they are doing now. Peter has made a video, Jude has made a video, Paul recently has made a video. They are, let me ask them something, or whoever. What is what do you want to, what do they want to, especially Peter, what does he want to achieve with these videos, with these yes, these explanations and videos he's making, you know, telling us about his experience with his brothers and um, how they connived to rip him off of royalties and all. What exactly, what exactly does he want to achieve with all that by coming public with it? What exactly? I mean, on social media, you are not going. You have strong enough case to actually go to court if you really want to recover. If you want, if Mr. P wants to recover his money that his brothers ripped him off of over the years, it's not on social media he'll recover it. He can simply go to court. Yes, he can go to court and present his case. So going back to my question, what exactly does he want to achieve by bringing it to the social media and telling everybody? You know, it wasn't the whole case. Okay, now Jude has responded, Peter has responded. Is now the back and forth will now start all over again. You know, putting such a prominent family in out in public in for the wrong reasons. I think the young man is making a very horrible mistake, and I believe that one day he'll regret all those things, all those steps he took. It would have been better for him to go to court, future, or consult a respected family friend. I'm sure they will have a respected person in society that consult or go to them, take this case to them to intervene. But you don't just pick up your phone, use your page, you have millions of followers, you are telling stories. After listening to the stories, you are giving us gists and we are chewing popcorn and listening to your family problems. Okay, after that, what happens? I will now go to your comments and tell you, okay, I'm making my own video now on your family issue and tell you, okay, the Jude scammed you, Paul did you dirty, blah, 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 blah. After that, what else? What I'm trying to say is that this cloud chasing. This I mean, it may sound ruthless or insensitive to the young man's seeming predicament, but he's chasing clouds. That's just the brutal truth. That's just the ruthless truth. He's chasing clouds. Yes, okay. Let's say that your brother scammed you of your royalties over the years. You want to get it back. What do you do? You don't want to get it back. Then why are you telling us? What are we going to do with that story? Activism. You want us to come on. You are putting out your family, even if you guys have not been in good terms, for some time now. It doesn't warrant those things you have to, those steps you are taking, those videos you are taking. And then, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that what the things he said are not true, or he was not. I'm not taking sides here just yet, and I'm not willing to take sides anyway. I'm not saying that maybe his brother scamming him of his royalties over the years did not betray him or that. No, I'm not getting to that yet, and I'm not saying that he's lying or whatever. But what I'm saying is that the very step of him coming out public with such damning information about his family crisis and family problems is not the best step. Especially bringing it to the social media, bringing it to the courts of public opinion. You are bringing it to the court of public. You are bringing for people to debate, for people to talk about, to form a trading gist for another 1 month or so, to bring opprobrium to your family members and all. To what end? Okay, after that, after people are done criticizing Jude and Paul, your twin brother, or whatever, after the whole criticism, okay, after people have taken sides with you, what next? Come on, come on. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me what he's doing, you know? And that is why his brothers or whatever are angry with him. Yes, they may have done what he said they did, but bringing out, family issues, at the end of the day, we don't have context how these things happened or why they happened or why you are denied royalty. We may never get the full gist because these are issues within a family. In fact, bringing out the full issues may bring that will give it context on why these things happen, because this is a family problem. It didn't start today. The dates you mentioned, 2017 and all that. So us innocent bystanders will never get the full gist. The only gist we'll get is the one you deem necessary to give us to make your, of course, to push your story. Paul will come out and give his own side to push his story. Jude will come out. But in a family, there is always a gist. There is always something, there's always a part of the story that is left out, So I don't think we need all that. And it is, I think it says more about the person doing what he's doing than about the persons he's talking about. I just love those guys, but what is happening is just unfortunate. They are not the only families that have problems, trust me. They are not but they are the ones bringing their family problems into the market square for everybody to toy with, Then another thing, the bad side of that thing he's doing is that he's making it seem like another mistake they made, maybe absolutely probably at the inception of their career, is not spelling things out, not separating business from family. I think a lot of people have made similar mistakes, but they were lucky enough to find a way to, do things the proper way. Not separating business from family. That's very important. That's right. You people made that mistake. We didn't make it for you. What he's doing is making it seem like that is a bad idea to do business with family member. At the end of the day, the Jewish people are the most powerful entrepreneurs in the world now because they keep their businesses in their bloodline. They keep their businesses in their bloodline. And the advantage, the Rockefellers, the big names, and the advantage of that, even our Nigerian billionaires in dollars and millionaires in dollars, are doing the same thing. When they manage to build, multinationals and make money, build something, build a legacy for themselves, they don't go hiring strangers, to, at least for posterity. For posterity, a private business, you have to keep it in the bloodline. You have to keep it in the family, So this Psquare issue now is they're making it look like it's always a bad idea to do business with family. That's wrong, because it's not true. Doing business with family is the best way to guarantee sustainability and posterity and keeping that legacy in the family. you know. But for you to achieve that, it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of accountability. And how do you have enforce that accountability and discipline? It's structure. Building a structure, you know. You don't just your sweat and blood and everything, you know, your sleepless nights, your hard work after building something worthwhile. You know, you say, okay, let me use their example. You say, okay, Jude is my manager. This family member is your this, your that, your that. You know, without a solid structure to say, okay, this office, the office of the managers of the artists is responsible for this and responsible for that. This percentage of our earnings will be maybe from our shows or from our songs or from our royalties will go to him, and this is what will go to the artist, and these things will be in black and white. It's not something you sit down with your elder brother, your mother, your uncle, you sit down in a parlor, and you are eating a bar, and you discuss and you say that's it. No, this is business. Separate it from family. It's business. When you are discussing these things, involve a lawyer that will be there to say, as the discussions are going on, he will be the one to put it in black and white, and the parties will sign, so that there will not be loopholes on, this was what was agreed. Okay, but Jude went and opened or incorporated another entity to be so that what at the end of the day, when you people have this thing black and white, whenever somebody goes outside the specific terms, the person goes in for it. The person will be held accountable. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So I think that is where they started getting it wrong. They had business, venture, entertainment, you know, two artists, you know, coming as one to produce songs, distribution, mastering, everything. And most of from what they are saying, all the arrangements they have are just verbal. The only documents I'm seeing is bank statements, CSC documents, registering entities. I didn't see agreements. Spelling out, sharing formula, who does what and whatever, and who ends what. I didn't see agreements. It's just we agreed we'll do it like this, 50-50, 35-35. But where is that? Where are these things spelled out? So that tomorrow you people come, even you come and argue, and or somebody, how does it even, what is you're entitled to from those songs? You know, how do they pass on to your heirs? I mean, there are no agreements. So it was just left like that. Apparently because it's family, Jude is family, Peter is family, Paul is family, we don't have to drop. No, it's a business. If you want it to inure for, you know, and pass it as legacy to your children, then it has to be on paper. Okay, so look at what is happening now. Who are we even going to believe? If Peter says the share was 50-50, and Paul comes to man and says, no, it was 40-30, who are we going to believe? So there were a lot of loopholes, and those loopholes, understandably, was as a result of their familiar relationship and all that, which is wrong because they are doing business. You look at let me give you an example. Look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he has a very big real estate portfolio, one of the biggest real estate, you know, moguls in the US. You know, his company, of course, has a structure. You know, when he brought in his son-in-law into his business, he gave him an office. That office, you see how businessmen do some businessmen that want to pass a legacy. You know, The office, every office, if Josh, I think that's the name of Trump's son-in-law. Even Ivanka also was brought into the business. They have an office, and that office, has clearly spelled out responsibilities. And in performing those responsibilities, it has entitlements, accruable to that office, not to the person. So if a company has a structure now, and the offices, you see how the structure flows, the offices of the officers of the company, directors, executive directors, blah 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 blah, CEOs, managing directors, and all that. The office is created. Everybody know their responsibilities and the extent of their responsibilities. Everybody also know their entitlement. It is clearly spelled out. So there's no question of, I am Donald Trump's son-in-law. It doesn't matter. Once this is my father-in-law's company. I can do whatever I like, or I can make, ask for. Maybe I can arrogate resources to myself without recourse to proper, procedure or whatever. There's nothing like that. So everybody that is working in the office have their payments, have their entitlement, have their benefits, have whatever to them. No more, no less. But most times, the mistakes people like the Okoyes, the Psquares make now is that you have a thriving business. You have a very big business that has very huge potentials. You involve family members. Nothing wrong with that. But you don't have structure. They don't have clearly spelled out. And what I mean spelled out, written in black and white, agreements, structured, arrangements where every officer in the establishment know their role and know what they're entitled to for every business. There's no such thing. So it was even basically doing whatever he likes, and no accountability. No accountability, no transparency, So why do you think problem will not come? It's just a matter of time. We are human beings. It might even be from maybe as a result of one misunderstanding or the other. Maybe for one reason or the other, you suspect somebody is cheating you out of it. Because nothing is transparent. There is no transparency. Everybody, there is no structure, mandating that everybody is answerable to everybody. There are no checks and balances. Those things are important. So when at the end of the day, Jew goes out of his way to do something that's wrong, there's nobody to check him. There's no procedure on like, okay, you shouldn't do this. This is how this should be done. It's not spelled out. It's not written. It's just what you people discussed, and everybody can do what they like. And at the end of the day, okay, look at an example when he said that $25 million was shared between Jude and Paul, his twin brother, and he came and asked for he was inquiring from his brothers why that happened without his knowledge. They just told him, okay, just an indication of the kind of arrangement they had without structure. As like, oh, is that what will cause problem? Okay, let us contribute and give him a share. That should not happen. Where you guys are operating with a structure, that should not happen. You should have had knowledge of that money when it came in and how it should have been. It should be disbursed. But there was no written agreement. There was nothing. It's just people discussing all this, and that is why what happened. And even if you go to court now, there we are, because it's a matter of when you present your evidences. Because it's a matter of preponderance of evidence. You bring your evidence. They will bring theirs. They'll bring theirs. Their evidence may provide a more complex context that will go to whittle down the weight of your evidence. Because there was no agreement. It's spread out. A lot of things. You could come out. I don't want to give ideas because I don't know how far this video will go. But anybody understands what I'm saying. that is your own case. You've provided your own narrative, you know, but we don't have the full context. We don't have the full picture yet. So if you say the that money was advanced to them without your knowledge and you should have known, they will come out and say something else that, due to the dynamics of your relationship as family, that will go to whittle down the weight of your claim. And that is how it works. Then if you say they are lying, that was not the arrangement. Because when I ask you, okay, where was the arrangement spelled out? So that is just it. It's just unfortunate, you know. I think we should learn things from there. Doing business, keeping business, and you know, revenue generating business, family is very good thing. It's a good way to ensure, you know, your legacy is protected and it goes through your bloodline, your siblings, your children, and everything. You know, will continue in that. That's how a lot of billionaires do stuff. They keep it in the family, and you know, it prospers. So where you are doing, the people should learn to separate business from family. And if you don't do that, you see that those loopholes will now start, you know, rubbing off wrongly on the family relationship. You know, you see that when there is mutual suspicion, when there is unnecessary tension and friction here and there, it will go to spoil the the family, the relationship between the family members, which is very wrong. But imagine that these guys now had a proper structure, you know, and you know, created specific offices and have well spelled out agreement defining the terms on who does what and who earns what, you know. When they come together in one of their houses and have discussed business, everybody knows they are discussing business. Business is business. You may be, they are seated as brothers there, but when they open the books and start having a meeting, business meeting, it's business meeting. After the business meeting, they are back to being brothers. That is how it works. That's how any serious entity that wants to hold this on, you know, operates. So, because human beings will always be human beings. Yes, they are people, you know, they are people you can actually trust and say, I don't need to write anything down with this person. This person is a no, I can't do it. They are still people like that and all, you know, but you are not omniscient, you know, to know who is who. Unfortunately, you know, the bad people are spoiling it for the good people. So you can't be too careful. You are better safe than sorry. So that's why it's necessary to make sure that these things are done, so that you save yourself the embarrassment, save yourself the loss. You know, say, you can imagine how much revenue Psquare is losing from this their family friction. Those guys are losing revenue because those guys were making hits upon hits upon hits, you know. But this whole crisis in between them now in the family is really, they will lose money. Even what they will earn as individuals, what they will make as individual artists will be nothing compared to what they will make as a unit. That is just the truth. Because they were better as a unit, but it is what it is. So that's what I felt like, you know, talking about this night, you know. They've brought it out there, and the whole thing is messy, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. And I'm just it's just unfortunate. It's just a sorry side, because it's not the way to go. It's not the way to go. They are all basically chasing clouds now, trying to get public opinion on their side, but it never works that way. It never works that way. Public opinion would damage more than it can build. That is just the truth. It doesn't matter who is right or who is wrong. You know, it is what it is. All right. Good night. See you guys later. Yeah.